Hey there, Cohort 1 of the Using Generative AI in Teaching and Learning program for Fall 2024. Welcome to your first week. It's almost over. My name's Jacob Spradlin, and I'm one of your facilitators in the program. I'm really excited to have you as part of this program, which we think is kind of appropriate for now, as many of us are struggling with how to deal with, talk about, use, hide, destroy AI in the confines of education and specifically higher ed. So we hope that you'll enjoy your time in this program and that you'll have a safe space to speak your mind. But at the same time, challenge yourself to learn some stuff about it and how you might or might not use it in your courses. That being said, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing right now, and that is the AI Yai update, where we come to you once a week and we talk about what we're talking about in the current unit of study. We look at what we finished and look ahead. And then we actually do a demo of one of Blackboard's AI Design Assistant tools. So throughout this program, you're going to see a lot of different resources that we're going to leverage in the course, which we think might be helpful for you. As a matter of fact, even the final module is just chock full of other resources too. But each module has resources for you where we can show you how to use different types of tools. So I will just say that be on the lookout. I want to start by taking a look at where we've been, and that is we're starting in here, right? The course welcome and orientation, the Start Here unit. Your first activities, your pre-assessment, as well as your discussion, were due on Tuesday, the 2nd that's Wednesday, the 2nd, because today's Friday the 4th. Wednesday the 2nd at 10 p.m. And we did that because of how this whole module works. But that being said, it was a really quick module, kind of orients you. You got the welcome video in front of it, and then you've got kind of how we handle. The module itself is set up a lot like our other modules are, and I'll walk you through those in a second. But I say all that to say that that's what was due. And let me tell you, I really appreciate you all submitting your pre-assessment activity. I hope at the end of our wonderful time together, you look at your post-assessment and kind of compare notes and feel like, okay, maybe I understand this a little more. Maybe I was already an expert. That's okay too. We are also enjoying your welcome discussions, however you put them in there, whether it be just text, a video recording, or some kind of generative AI tool. We definitely thought those are neat and really excited to see those. But that's where we've been, where we're going. So due Sunday, and then our due dates follow every Sunday from here on out through the program, right? The next Sunday will be Module 1's Lesson 1 stuff is due. That's October 6th, and that's the lesson on 1 and 2, which are generative AI and generative AI models. At the end of that lesson is a reflective journal entry. We want you to think about what you've read, what you've been through, and reflect on that. So we look forward to seeing those reflections. We look forward to interacting with you as we talk about them. The following week is we get into generative AI technologies, and then some of the the pluses and minuses around that, and then we do a case study. But all this is in the Introduction to Generative AI module, which is kind of hoping to give you a better, firmer foundation or background of generative AI as we think about it. But just know that we're not going to take away your birthday if you're late on a due date. We just want to try to have you all together as we work through, so you can interact when appropriate, and so that we're all on the same page. That being said, we look forward to continuing to see some of those discussions being submitted, as well as those pre-assessment activities. Then, obviously, the due date coming up is the 1 on the 6th, this Sunday at 10 p.m., and that's your reflective journal entry. Now, had a great question come in whilst we were during these first couple of days of the course, and I want to walk you through something really quick, and that is, had someone say they couldn't access the assignment because it was after the due date. And I will tell you now that all of your assignments will be accessible after the due date. We've given you multiple attempts at them, so that's okay. What we do have the course set up like, so that I give you some kind of frame of reference here, is we have turned on the forced sequence of modules. What does that mean? That means as the instructor, as the student, I'm in the student preview mode right now, I need to go through a module in order. So you're going to see here that all these things say lock. The only reason they say lock is because I haven't read through the previous one. So how do I do that? Well, in the Start Here module, for instance, I open it up. And then I scroll and I read through everything in the module, right? So we look at the quick tip, we look at my welcome videos. I have one where it's just me, and then one where it is me as a internet robot. Anyway, and then the actual text of the welcome to also be helpful. Then we talk about the objectives of the module, and we just scroll through, and you'll see once I scroll down to the bottom that this next button up at the top becomes available. So I click it, and it takes me to the next thing in the course, which is the syllabus. And it lets you look at the syllabus. Once I'm done looking at the syllabus, I can, again, you can just scroll down really quick. With the file, it'll let you move to the next thing. But when I do that, I just click next. It then takes me to navigating the course. Okay, Jacob, how does navigating the course work? Well, Faith has put together a nice navigational video for you to watch, which will help. So some of the questions that we've gotten in might have been served by you watching this navigation video, for instance, before you tried to attempt the course content, much like I'm sure you tell your own students. So anyway, as I scroll down, you notice that next video opens up again. Each time when you look at content, you have to go all the way down to the bottom before that next option will open. So you click it, and then you can gain access to the activities. Doing the activities will let you submit the survey and participate in the discussion and move on to the next thing. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that answered some questions. So now I want to get into the tip, right? So what's the tip for today? The tip for today is the generative AI and module suggestions or content suggestions and how those work. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close this course, and we're going to go to a English Composition 1 course, right? Here in this English Composition 1 course, I don't have any modules. Well, one of the neat tools of the AI Design Assistant is the ability to generate some containers for me to help me think about my course. Now, again, these are suggestions that you can leave or take as you will. You have the ultimate control of how AI works in your courses, right? Or not works. So I'm going to click here under Auto Generate Modules. When I do that, it's going to pull modules based upon my course title. Right now, this course is called English Composition 1, right? So you're going to see here now how it's automatically pulling up to some modules here. And I have, I think, 4 modules. I might want to go, let's say I want to go with, later I can choose 15, and I'll show you what that means in a second. And I might bump the complexity down a little. But you'll see here, now you've got, in Comp 1, you've got these wonderful modules that it created for me. Now, that being said, I may or may not like these modules. I may not like what they're looking at, just based upon pulling my title. However, I, as the instructor, have a great tool that will help me. This is the description box. I can either pull a file like my entire syllabus, or in this case, I've taken the liberty of copying a course description and objectives, and I'm going to make those what the generative AI uses to help generate these modules for my course, right? So instead, I used this description and then I came down here and said, okay, do I want to have these called modules? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call them modules. So there's like module 1, module 2, module 3, right? That kind of a thing. And then I'm going to come in here and choose generate. So what I've done is I have actually pasted in here. This box can hold 40,000 characters, so you're not going to overwhelm it. I could just select a file and use that as my context, but by giving this context, it helps the generative AI make a better choice in terms of the suggested modules, right? So I've got my complexity set, and I'm going to change my complexity down a notch, put it right in the middle. And then number of learning modules, I've got it set to 15. I'm going to hit generate. And it may do plus or minus that number depending upon the content that you've given. It's not a perfect thing. It's going to take you getting in and editing. Sometimes using generative AI, if you have any experience with it, is a back and forth. It's a conversation, much like anything where you go to refine what you're doing. So in this instance, it is pulling from the syllabus and objectives that I have pasted into my course. Now, in the box. Now you're noticing that it's actually pulling some things that are okay. These are actually coming from my objectives and coming from my description. And so you'll see now that I've got modules called, Introduction to First Year Composition, Exploring Genres and Rhetorical Situations, Reading Strategies for Writing, Collaborative Writing and Revision, the whole 9 yards. So I can pull through here and take a look at all of these. Now, you're going to notice that some of these, practicing citation conventions didn't come with an image, and that's okay. As the instructor, then, I can choose the ones I want and layer them in. So let's say I'm going to come through here and go, all right, boom, and boom. And I'm going to go all the way to 10 this time, and I'm going to leave the 10 there too. So when I'm ready, I choose Add 10 to Course. Now, it's going to take this content and place it hidden right in my course. So it's giving me that framework. It's not putting course content in there for me. It is giving me a framework from which I can build from and put in as the instructor. So I think of it as like an efficiency helper, right? It helps me get things ready and going so I can kind of get things put in there that I want. So now that I've gone in here, it's got all these modules. In another place, I'll show you how you can actually edit these images. But I wanted to tell you that that is something that you can do. You can actually auto-generate your modules based upon context that you've given it. That could be a file. That could be text that I paste into text box. So I hope you've liked this kind of tool. I think of it as an efficiency improver for me. The instructor helps me save some time. But again, as the instructor, I am ultimately in control of the kinds of stuff that it places in there, whether it be the images. I can change the images, I can change the text, I can change the names, the whole 9 yards. And I got there simply by going to the auto-generate modules feature. Now, while we're here, I only did 10 modules. So if I wanted to auto-generate 5 more, I'd simply go down to where that last module is, and I click on the plus sign and choose auto-generate. And I go through that process again. All right, folks, I hope that helps you. I really look forward to working with you, offering you feedback, learning from you as you make your way through the course. Faith, Elliott, and I are looking forward to it, and we hope that you all have a great day and a great weekend.